Hey everyone, welcome to the May Cave. My name is Megan, and today is my last video of the summer for now. I don't know why I said for now, but last video of the summer, I'm going to talk about my current reads, how my summer went, how I hope semester will go, and hopefully I'll see you guys in December after this. So let's just kind of get into it. First, I want to say I did my hair differently today, which I haven't done this hairstyle in a long time, and it kind of brings out the curls of the bottom hair, like because the overlayer of my hair doesn't always curl very well. It's kind of flat, but then the bottom stuff always curls, so it's always hidden. And I feel like I should do this hairstyle more often. I don't know why I don't. I really like it. But my lower hair kind of looks a little dark. As I've gotten older, my hair has gotten a little darker, and I'm kind of worried that I'm going to become a brunette when I have kids. Because my mom's, not when she was pregnant, but when she was in high school, a teenager, her hair went from straight and blonde to brown and curly. Which isn't a bad thing. I like brown hair, but I've always been a blonde, so it's kind of weird to think that it might change one day. Anyway, enough about my hair. Let's get into my current reads. So I have 4 current reads that I'm hoping can go into semester, kind of, because obviously I'm still going to try and read. I didn't do the normal. I kind of did the normal, where I choose one from each shelf. Instead, I only did 2 because I have 2 ebooks that I need to read. So I chose one from this shelf and, yeah, one from each shelf, and then it kind of didn't work out the way I was thinking. So let me just get into the books. So the 2 physical books I have, the first one is Strawberry Shortcake Murder by Joanne Fluke. This one is the second book in the Hannah Swenson Cozy Mystery series, and I have this fun bookmark. I don't know why, but I never showed you guys my bookmarks for my books. I'll link the person who made this down below. I found them on Instagram, and they have a fun Etsy with all these ones. This one, as you can tell, is laminated, and it's a really nice little bookmark. So, like I said, I don't know why I don't show you guys my bookmarks. I always mean to, because I always pick a bookmark to go with the book. This one I picked because it kind of matches the cover. I didn't really have like a cake pastry themed bookmark. This one is the second book in the series. Like I said, I finally found this one in a bigger paperback instead of the little mass markets, because I have the first one in a big paperback. This one I chose off of my second shelf, actually, because when I did my unhaul, I moved some series books down to my second shelf, mainly series that are duologies, or if I only have one book, or if I'm in the middle of the series, and this was one of them because I have the second book and I just hadn't gotten to it yet. So this came off of the second shelf, and I haven't started this one yet, and I'll tell you why in a second. I have like a way I'm going to read these. The second one is 5 Patients by Michael Crichton. I say Crichton, but apparently he says Crichton. He's the author of Jurassic Park and a bunch of other books. I've never read Jurassic Park, actually, and I didn't like the movies that much. I know, very unpopular opinion. I did read his book, A Disclosure, which is about sexual harassment in the workplace, but not in the way you think. And it was a really good book. I liked that a lot. It was written, I think, in the 90s, so the technology is a little behind, but it's a really good novel, and I highly suggest you pick up his other books that aren't Jurassic Park. This one is about 5 different patients, obviously, in an ER. It's actually from the time when he was a medical doctor. He wasn't a full doctor, apparently. I looked it up. He had gone to medical school and he did his residency, which is it's kind of like an internship for doctors where you're done with school, but then you go and work in a hospital for X amount of years, and then you can apply to get your license and whatnot. I think he never actually went to go get his license, so he worked in the hospital, but he never actually became a full-fledged doctor, is like what I think it is. But this is from his time during his residency. And I thought it was fictional. I thought it was like, oh, I was a doctor once. Let me write some stories about patients. I was wrong. This is a nonfiction book, so it should have actually come off my nonfiction shelf. But it's kind of apropos because I'm about to start back up in nursing school, and that's medical. And it's really interesting because this book was written in the 60s. It was published in 1970. And at the beginning of the book, he has an author note from 1994. So to look back at what it was like in the 60s, what he says about what the medical world was like in the 60s, what he says what it was like in the 90s, and then compare that to what I'm learning now. It's just really interesting to read, first because I can see the differences, but also I can see that a lot of things have not changed, and there are some things in here that he has said, like, oh, school, medicine is going to get more expensive, hospitals are going to get more expensive as we go on, and he said that in the 60s, and that is still true today. There's a lot of things in here that are still true today, like it's just a really interesting book. So if you have the writing the style is a little odd, but I really like it. I'm only on page 78. So if you like the medical field, you're in the medical field, I think this would be a really interesting read for you because, it's really interesting to see what, medicine was like in the 60s versus now. Oh, and the bookmark I have, I didn't really have a medical bookmark, so this is one that I made. It's just a bookish printed fabric that I just sewn up to a rectangle. Obviously, my edging on top is not that great, but it's okay. So there's that one. The next two books I have are ebooks. So the first one is A Time to Die by Nadine Brandes. I actually found her on Instagram. She recently released a book called Romanov, which is about, the Romanovs of Russia. And then this one is the first of a trilogy that she's already written. They were already released a while ago. And the concept is really cool. It's a futuristic world, kind of dystopian, and everyone has a set date that they're going to die. Like, they know the day. It's X amount of years, seconds, minutes, days, whatever, until they die. So everyone has a clock that they're supposed to keep with them, like a little handheld clock that they keep on them at all times that has their goodbye day, I think is what they call it. It's a really interesting book. I'm really enjoying it. I don't remember how far in I am, maybe about 100 or so pages. It's the first in a trilogy, so I'm really interested to see where she takes this. It kind of reminds me, there's a movie with Justin Timberlake and Amanda Seyfried. I can't remember the name, but I'm going to put it here. It was a similar concept because they had it on their wrists. It was like a time clock on their wrist, but it wasn't when they were going to die. Like, you could exchange time and get more time if you wanted to. And some people have like thousands of years or whatever. Maybe not that much. Anyway, similar concept, but different. And Time to Die is really good. It is still really original, and I like the character a lot. I like the way it's going right now. So this is one of the ones I'm reading, obviously. And once I finish this book, I'll probably read the next two, and I really want to read her Romanov book because it sounds really good and has a gorgeous cover. But I'll link everyone that I talk about down below if I can for like Instagram or something. The next book that I have is one I won. It's one that I won in an Instagram giveaway on Instagram. Why can I not speak today? No English. It's a book that I won on Instagram from the author. There we go. A Curse of Misty Wayfarer by Jamie Jo Wright. This is the first book. I don't think it's the first book, actually. I think she just has a bunch of similar books with the same kind of like historical mystery kind of vein, and it sounds really cool. But I got an ebook, which is, I'm really excited to read it. And I actually kind of like ebooks now, especially because for semester, when I'm out and about, I don't have to bring a book with me. It could just be on my phone. And if it's lunch break and I'm tired of studying, I can take a quick 5-minute break and read from my book without pulling anything out. I can just set my phone down and eat my lunch and read and then go to studying or something. So those are the 4 books that I am going to currently be reading my TBR. The way I'm doing it is I'm reading 1 physical book and 1 ebook at a time. So I'm reading 5 Patients and A Time to Die. And when I finish, whichever one I finish first, so if I finish 5 Patients, I'll go on to the other physical book. If I finish A Time to Die, I'll go on to the next ebook. That way it's kind of spaced and I can have 1 of each since I have 2 of each right now on my TBR. So that's kind of it for my TBR. Now, we're all done with the bookish things. I'm going to talk about how my summer went, especially my 10-day trip, if you guys are interested in that, since I didn't obviously do a vlog video for that. If you're interested in that, stay. If you're not, it was so nice to see you guys. I hope that you'll see me back in December, and I'll say goodbye to those that are just here for the bookish stuff. So my summer overall was pretty good. I got through a lot of things that I wanted to do on my summer to-do list. Not everything, but a lot. I didn't always get through all the videos I wanted to do for BookTube. I didn't, we'll see. Hopefully I can get the Goodreads comparison videos in through my winter break. And maybe my bucket painting one. I haven't gotten around to that. And I probably could. I didn't realize how time consuming that might be. And now that I'm hurt, I can't really carry things down the stairs as easily as I could. I have to have one hand on the rail. So I only have one arm to hold things. So, bringing stuff to go outside, downstairs and outside, it would just be a lot of trips, and that's a lot of toll on my ankle. So, but I wanted to do it when no one else is home, so I wasn't worrying about, getting sandpaper on everyone, just having time to do it alone. But I need my husband to help me, and he's always home when everyone else is home. So, we'll see whenever I do that. I really wanted to do that this summer, but, And then, there was, I always wanted to study during the summer and do other things, so I didn't really sew. I wanted to get into my sewing room, and I think I did that once or twice at the beginning of the summer to hem something or for someone else, but I didn't get in there for my own projects. I was going to try and do something this week, at least get another project continued, and there was one that I was going to film that apparently I had started last summer, for like 5 minutes of filming, and I did one thing, and then I tried again with the next part, and then the next part. So it's already partially sewn, not much, but just like a few pieces of it. So that video is kind of going to be like weird if I ever do that one. But that's kind of it for that. My trip was really good. I'm so glad that we went on that trip. It was a long 10-day trip, and it was a lot of driving, but it was very worth it. So we drove from where we're at through California to Reno, Nevada, stayed a night there, drove up through Nevada, a little bit through Oregon, into Boise. We stayed in Boise for a few days because we're really interested in the city of Boise as like a potential place to live one day. And then we drove through Boise, through the state up into Island Park, Idaho, which is where my family owns a cabin. And we stayed there for 4th of July for a few days, which was a lot of fun. And then we came back, stayed a night in Boise. Then we went through Oregon to Eugene, stayed a night there, and then went south home. It was a lot of fun. We saw a lot of really cool things. I was so happy to see family. We got to see my uncle and his wife and 3 kids, who I've never met his kids, and one of them is just started like 2nd grade or 1st grade or something, and the youngest one is a baby that just turned a year old. So it was really nice to be able to see everybody, and almost everyone came to the cabin, which was really nice. We had a full house. So I'm really glad we went on this trip, even though it definitely took a toll on our bank account and we had to be really like thrifty for the rest of the month. It was worth it, honestly. It was the only bad time we had on the trip was, of course, a little bit too much driving. We had to take breaks, and it was a lot on our legs and our back for sitting in the same position. And then at the end of the trip, we had, so we came through down I-5 through the center of California, and we made it to Mount Shasta, and then there was just a huge traffic jam. So that point of the highway, it's 3 lanes on one side with a break and 3 lanes on the other side. So whatever affects this side isn't going to affect that side. So on our side, all 3 lanes were just bumper to bumper. It took us like an hour to go 5 miles. And we're like, what in the heck is going on? There was one sign that said bridge construction. And we're like, we don't see a bridge. There's no construction. There's nothing. We finally get to an exit from Mount Shasta City. And we try to get off. We're like, I have to go to the bathroom. We need to figure out what's going on. And we're getting really close. And it takes another 10 minutes to get to that, which is only like another mile down the road. And we finally get there, and there's a lady making sure people don't go down off the exit. We're like, what the heck? So we go up to her, and we ask what's going on. She says, oh, well, are you guys residents here? We're like, no, but we really need to get off and go to the bathroom and take a lunch break and that kind of thing. She's like, okay, I'll let you off, but when you are done, you need to get back on the I-5 because every other way south is closed. I'm like, what? Okay, whatever. So we get off, we do our thing, and then we're looking and we're thinking, what other routes can we take south? We're totally ignoring what she said. And all the other side, there's like side streets that go along with the I-5 for a while. We're trying to go through them. They literally actually have them blocked off. They have police officers saying, unless you live here, you can't drive up this road. And then there was one highway that kind of, I'll put like a picture here of what I'm talking about, that kind of like does a V back into I-5 past Redding, I think. And we were going to try and get on that highway. But first, like we couldn't find the initial exit. There was so many people getting off I-5 into that city, which is a small little town, really, trying to find other directions, that to actually get to the entrance of 89, I think it was, which is the V, to get to that entrance would have taken us a long time. So we tried to find like the back road that went to that, but we couldn't find that either because Google was like being weird. And we're like, what the heck is going on? So we cross over the highway to get to the other side, trying to find another side street, which was also closed off. And as we cross over the highway, I'll put a video up or, whatever. I looked to the side, and as far as my eye could see, it was bumper to bumper, stopped traffic. And we're thinking, what the heck? So we stop again. My husband looks up on Google, where is the next bridge? Like, where is this traffic? Can we get through this? Can we sit through this? Like, what's going on? The next bridge was another 20 miles down the highway, at least. I think it was farther. I'll put a picture of where he pointed it out because I don't remember. And I'm thinking, if it took us an hour to go 5 miles, how long would it take us to go the next 20? And so our thought was either we get stuck in traffic and see how long it takes us to get home, or we hike it back up to Grants Pass, Oregon, and go across to the coast to make it south. And that's what we did. It took us a few hours to head back and then over to Crescent City to go south again. But honestly, it was worth it to go that way because at least we were doing something and we were moving instead of sitting in traffic. Because at least if you're on the highway and you're moving, you can get off and go to the bathroom or something and get a break instead of getting stuck in traffic. And it's like, oh, I have to go to the bathroom. Well, it'll probably be another hour until the next exit. We didn't want to do that. And we had no idea, when the traffic was we didn't see any construction in sight. So it was very irritating. My husband was pissed. He's like, what the fuck is going on? Sorry for my language. Excuse my language. So that was a big ordeal. We ended up driving through the night. We didn't want to stay at a hotel and spend more money. We just wanted to get home. We were tired. So he drove most of it, but I did take over for some of it so he could take a break. And we made it home in the middle of the night. It was like 3 or 4 a.m. when we made it home. So that day was kind of shot. Otherwise, the trip was really amazing. So right now, I will take a pause and I'll upload some pictures and videos here, whatever I can within my time frame, to show you guys what we saw. So I hope you enjoyed all those fun pictures. I think we had a great time. We saw some really great stuff. I guess that's kind of it for the vlog for that. I really wanted to do a whole vlog. We got a ton of video and a ton of pictures, way more than what I showed you. So maybe I'll do it again some other time. Be like, hey, here's a vlog of this trip we did a while ago. I don't know. I at least want to do it for myself, to, you know, because I have so many different videos and pictures. I want to be able to compile them in one thing that my husband and I can watch later. So that probably won't happen for a while. Anyway, I'm going to stop blabbing now. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I am sad to see my summer go because school starts August 19th and I'll be busy. I'm already starting to get a little busy. Like, I'm trying to stay away from homework, but I'm trying to do a little bit here and there so I'm not totally slam-packed when school starts. So, yeah. That's it. My semester. Oh, yeah, I should probably want to tell you guys about my semester. I think it'll be busy. I think it'll be hard. But I'll get through it. Hopefully. We'll see. I want to be a nurse. I'm going to get through it. There's no other option for me. So with all of that being said, I'm going to sign off now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will hopefully see you guys in December. I'm not going to be busy during this winter break, so I will see you guys in December. And that's it. Bye.